illustrate the citizen's perspective of bias, let's view this same incident from the side of one of the young males. You must now make decisions as Paul Reginald Gaylord. The responding officer's choices are set to command respect and away from be diplomatic. This is you, home from law school.
Oh, my man's going daddy's right. Woo! What's up, man? What's up? What's up, baby? Not bad, G. What's up, man? What's up? I mean, law school sucks, but, Boston's cool. What's up with you? You know, same old, same old. Didn't this much. I mean, saying, with my boys. What y'all been up to? You get out of school?
Yeah. I'm now nationally certified massage therapist.
The ladies, man, the ladies don't even stand a chance.
And I'm making like 30 an hour.
Serious? For rubbing on ladies?
Come on, man. I thought you knew. I'm the brother with the butter.
Tripping, dog. That is too funny. Alright, so, what you been doing, man? When'd you get out? March. My probation officer got me a student loan. I'm at the community college now. I'm mostly chilling. You just gonna chill your way back in. Nah, man. I'm on a leash now. Shauna's pregnant. For real? You gonna be a daddy?
In 7 months.
Congratulations, man. Good for you.
Yeah, nah. Come on, man. What we gonna do? We playing ball or what?
Oh, yeah. Who's this top 20 guy, huh? I played with him at the community college. He used to play for Marshall back in the day. Let's show him a little something.
Law school is hard, but you finally feel like you're seeing the world.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Temple was nothing like this.
Tony's not even home yet. We're gonna have to blow 20 minutes at least.
No, not in the car.
What?
Man, I'm in law school. Wait till we get to Tony's house.
Man, whatever.
We ain't waiting there, man. 5 minutes in that time, that good, we gonna be in the car.
You've been away, man. Temple, then Boston. You haven't been in a civilian around here in what? 5 years? These cops will have you on the ground just for passing by, Mom.
This is America. That is myth.
Myth? Man, let's fake this parking lot until he's home. I'm on probation.
So what? You spend with 20 minutes in a white neighborhood because you're on probation?
Nigga, you don't know what these cops are like.
I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not going to hide. I mean, we're Tony's friends, right?
No, we're Tony's black friends.
Exactly.
So what's the call? What do you think of the guys now? What is their perception of law enforcement? Who are the police in their world? How might their attitudes have been shaped by police bias? How might their attitudes have been shaped by perceived police bias or bias from a previous era of law enforcement? Can their attitudes toward law enforcement be changed? How? Wait for Tony in front of his house? Or wait until Tony is home and calls before going into the white neighborhood? Wait for Tony at his place. Stay out of that neighborhood. Wait at the convenience store until Tony calls and says he's home.
Okay, what should they do? Which one you want to go with? I'm going to say the first one, wait for Tony at his place. All right, what about the next? Okay, stay out of that neighborhood, wait at a convenience store. Say they should do that? Let's see what happens when you wait at Tony's house.
So you wait for Tony outside of his place.
So this is what Martin Force is like, huh? Actually hear voice chirping.
Man, I'm telling you, these cops have stopped black men all day.
That's not the stops. I got busted with 2 white guys doing the deal. Who got the break? Not me. It's the prosecutors. The entire system. You guys are seriously actually racial profiling out here? I mean, you know how legally wrong that is? They can't possibly get away with it.
You living in the dream world, man.
Lucky no cops roll by. He'll be on us like a dog. My dad would nail them. Never seen a better litigator.
You guys keep telling horror stories about the cops, and you keep getting more and more angry. And then, it happens.
Look, like clockwork.
Okay. We get mouthed off. Make sure we keep our hands where she can see.
The cop drives right up to you guys and starts in with the attitude.
Hey. What's going on?
Nothing.
What are you doing here?
talking, officer.
What the hell you think we doing, bitch? We obviously robbing all these houses and impregnating their daughters. What the hell you want anyway?
What I want is to know who you are and what you're doing here. And if I don't get answers to those questions, I'll arrest you under the loitering ordinance. Now, is that clear?
Oh my God, this is not happening in America.
Yes, sir, Master. I'm Hillary Clinton, and this is my brother Jermaine, and this is Tito.
5Com 433, send another unit.
She asked for backup? This is starting to look like an organized lynching. Disrespect is not reasonable suspicion.
Wait, haven't I seen you before? Aren't you one of those village people?
Okay, I want to see your IDs right now.
Why?
Because I'm responding to a 911 call about you. And if I don't see your IDs right now, I'll arrest you for loitering and figure out who you are later.
911 call? Does she have you confused with someone else? Or is that what they say to all black men caught in a white neighborhood? How would you feel if this were you? What do you think of the officer's tone and actions from their perspective? Does their verbal harassment seem more understandable given the context of their contact with law enforcement? What do you do? Stand up for yourself. Identify yourself.
So what should Reginald do? What should Reginald do? Huh? Identify himself? Okay.
So you give in and lose some self-respect in the process.
What's your name?
Paul Reginald Gaylord.
And does your friend live here?
Touchdown, lady.
What's his name?
Tony Janelle.
And is this your car?
It's in my dad's name, Michael Gaylord.
And you feel like you just got abused. And it doesn't stop. They basically detain you for no reason while a crowd gathers and she talks to a neighbor. Then Tony drives up.
Hello, sir.
Hello, what's going on?
Do you know these gentlemen?
No, they're my friends. They're waiting for me.
Well, your friends have a problem with their attitude.
Since when is that against the law?
You know, guys, you need to be more respectful to police officers. Another officer may have you on the ground right now in cuffs.
Another threat, probably just to entertain herself. And then she leaves. She sure taught you a lesson. This kind of racism, this kind of abuse will stay with you forever.
I don't feel like playing guys.
This was a worst-case representation of how some citizens view their contacts with police officers. They make decisions from a completely different perspective sometimes. How different was the citizen's point of view from the officers? What could the officer have done better? How has Paul's attitude toward police officers changed because of this? What changes about his attitude toward the rule of law? Could something like this really happen? What role does bias have in this scenario? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Go back to the screen. Just about time is running out. Okay. All right. That particular video pretty much focused on bias and how bias could impact our work, or the work that you do. And as you notice in the video, there was not only you notice in the video that was also a woman that was she had her biases about law enforcement. How it was created through her paradigm, through her perception of law enforcement based on either experience or what she had heard, even watched on television or in the movies. Right? On the other side, the officer, you saw what the officer was going through. Yeah. Also, like she said, we deal with the thugs and out there. Their life is on the line every day. And she feels that officers are not getting the respect that they deserve. Right? As hard as they work, they just don't get the respect. And that could impact how she approached and how she does her job. You saw how the young men approached her. I commented back to her when she asked them why were they there. The attitude they had. Then the last part of the scenario talks about from the young men's standpoint how he develops or how they develop their perspective about law enforcement. It's a difficult situation, but what happens, that type of thing will go back into the community and will be shared with others in the community. And who ear will they get? Those people who already had biases, maybe against law enforcement. They get them to rally around it. And so what happens, then you become, as law enforcement officers, get the call, or the chief get the call, about how the officer how the officer treated young men. What we did not see in the video, and there's a scene where the sergeant, the supervisor for that particular officer, talked to her about her approach. Right?
I gotta say something on this.
Yes.
If we're putting this out in the public, my perception is it's all right that people cussing us, be disrespectful, say everything that they said to the officers, and we're justifying why they did what they did.
No, it's not
I
issue.
wouldn't speak to a stranger like that, let alone a police officer who walked up to me and says, "What are you doing here?"